So, so what happened when I came under the tree and I look at my friend and I tell him, I'm going to eat you tomorrow. But there's nothing for me to eat. I did not know what he was thinking in his head, whether he heard me or he did not hear me at all. And so I was waiting for him to die so I could eat him. And so this time I didn't want to care about what anybody would think about me eating somebody. So I sat next to my friend waiting for him to die so I could start eating. The temptations were so strong that I wasn't thinking of roasting him. I was thinking of eating him the way he is, you know. That's how hungry I was. And in my mind, I can always hear voices. So one voice would tell me, this is the only way for you to survive. You got to eat him. The other one tell me, no, it's a sin. You cannot eat your fellow human being. Do not eat. And then the other voice tell me, no, you have to eat. You're a soldier. Nobody will ever know. Then I want to tell me, no, but only you will know that you ate him, and it will haunt you for the rest of your life. So now, like in my head, I hear these two voices. So my heart is waiting on the decision to be made for me to act. So throughout that night, then as the stress was going on, the same thing played back. What was my mother what did she used to do? So my mother's picture playing back. Then I said, okay, fine. Let me pray to my mother's God again. Because what happened under the tree, I didn't know which God brought it, but now this is between me and him. Nobody's hearing this prayer. And so I said, God, if you're there, give me something to eat. That one day if I survive this place, I'll always give you your credit on this part. And so I waited like 11 p.m. I was in sleep because one thing I know is once you sleep, you never wake up in a starvation. So those who just go to bed because you'll not have energy left to wake up. So the sleep is sweet when you're hungry. You just sleep and you never wake up. And so I kept myself awake. I said, I'm not going to sleep, but I'm going to wait for my mother's God to give me something to eat tomorrow. And if it doesn't exist, I'll eat my friend and I'll never believe in him. And so I waited there. Like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Like around 10 or 11 a.m. in Sudan, when the sun is up. And I was losing hope. I said, this is it. I have to eat my friend for me to survive. When I was just about to do it, a bird came, a crow. A crow came on top of the tree, a black crow. And so a friend of mine shot it. He later died because he never had any energy left. So I ended up eating everything. I didn't leave anything, not the intestine, not anything. I ate everything. And after that, the snails that were disappearing started popping up. The vultures started coming close, so we shot as many as possible. And as we were celebrating eating this snail, some of our team had arrived in the village, so they came with cows, and cows were killed. Then what also happened here, I'm going to cut the story short a bit here. What happened here is, when the actual food was brought, I was eating nonstop. So what the people did is they tied me down. They didn't want me to eat a lot. So I was cussing. So there's one guy, I'll tell him, okay, if you give me more pieces of meat, I'll give you a magazine full of bullets. Because these guys were villagers. And we are soldiers, we had a lot of bullets. Maybe one of them has got 3 bullets in their gun. So I would trade my bullets for them to give me pieces of meat. But what I realized later, they did something good for me, because those who ate too much died because their stomach was not able. Now I can be thankful to them. But that time I was hating on them, because I was thinking, oh, only the adults are eating the best part of the meats. But what they actually did for me is they actually helped me to survive. So I ended up in a place called Ward, where I met a British aid worker called Emma McCune. So I was walking, my AK-47 was dragging the ground, and she came with with an American lady called Christian Colbert, and she couldn't remove her eye on me. And she's the one who decided that I get disarmed, and she smuggled me to Kenya. And so, smuggling me to Kenya, first time when I arrived in Kenya, the culture shock in Kenya for me was different. You're seeing these tall buildings, a lot of cars, and then she took me to a friend's house. In her friend's house, I found fat cats, fat dogs, just roaming around, useless. They're not barking. And then I really got angry. So when they went out, I kicked all those animals out. Say, you're supposed to stay out there and protect people, not just eating and eating. People are starving in Sudan. You're just eating fat and doing nothing. You're not even barking or something. And so when the owner of the house came, she was really, really angry. I told her, look, why are you keeping these animals here? No, they are called pets. Pets. Don't you have friends? You're having a whole big house for yourself alone, you know. So I didn't understand the culture shock that you can have a nice, fine house where you can live alone. And so I had to understand that life. So Emma told me, look, you have to be nice to this animal. They're called pets, you know, and people love them, you know. Some of them, they get them in a different way. It's an orphan. Then in my head, I think there are many orphan human beings. Can you get one? So like in my head, so the argument me and Emma was endless. So sometimes I just accepted the situation. So one day they went shopping. They left me in the house. And when they left me in the house, the fat cat liked sitting on my lap. And usually I normally kick it away. So this time I took a scissor. And I said, we're going to make love. It's not the American way of making love, you know. You get what I mean? Making love in Africa means we're going to be friends. So don't start writing Emmanuel Jal, make love with cats. No. So here, I took a scissor, and I'm saying I'm going to make this cat look beautiful. From now, I'm going to be friends to these animals. So I took a scissor and started cutting the whiskers. So by when I was just about to start on the body and making it the way my head was thinking is beautiful, the owner stepped in. Hey, what are you doing, Emmanuel? I said, I'm making the cat beautiful. It's ugly. So and then she looked at me. She was really mad. But what Emma did, she said, he's just trying to live this life. He's trying to show a response. Because I didn't know that kind of response. I'm from a bush. I was trained to be a soldier, so I wouldn't know how to live with a family. So I'm just going to cut it there and end the story with a song now, because the time is gone. Early on, I told you only dinner, no breakfast, no lunch. So I promised the kids in my village that I'm going to eat only dinner until I raise the money to build a school. Because when I went there, I know the importance of education in my village. I know what education can do. It illuminates, it opens up your mind, and it can give you many ways in which you can vent for yourself. I'm here now today because I'm able to speak this English to communicate with you. And now with me being put in schools, I'm able to, even if I quit rapping today, I can be able to survive anywhere. And so a lot of people, a lot of countries or charities just focus on giving us aid in Sudan. My country has been crippled for years. So we've been depending on aid. A lot of refugees growing in the refugee camp, no knowledge, nothing is happening to them. And so the message I carry is I'm telling people, if you really want to help us, give us education. Because that way you're going to help us. Like what happened, what American families did is they adopted a lot of thousands of lost boys and brought them to America. Some of them are engineers, some of them are doctors. My brother here is, if that person never extended their hand to bring him here, he would have never run for Olympic for America. So you could see the impact you're doing. If Emma McHugh never smuggled me to Kenya, I wouldn't be here. So education is what will help us in the long run. And so now as I end this session with a song dedicated to Emma, there's a charity I founded called Gua Africa that help